Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be part 3 of my Evo X interior project, and what the goal is for today is to get this parcel shelf done in the suede fibres just like we did for the interior pillars. So that was episode 1 of this interior series. So if you haven't caught that, then I'll put a link in the description, but basically this is the outcome. I have made these suede, so originally they're a cream colour, I then painted them black, and now I have covered them in suede using a flocking kit, which is using these loose fibres, basically putting some glue down and sprinkling them over the top. So yeah, if you haven't seen that first video, definitely check that out. I'll put a link in the description. But that was the result, and since putting it in the car, I've found that this will basically sit here. There's a bit of a contrast between the colour, so the black suede, and just this plastic parcel shelf. I think once this is also done in the suede, it's going to look a lot better. And then to get this out, obviously I had to remove the rear seats out of the car. So I thought I would just make it like also a bit of a tutorial of how to remove the rear seats and the parcel shelf out of your car, because just move these out of the way. What I had found is previously I was getting a lot of rattles in my interior, mainly coming from this parcel shelf. It seemed it's plastic on metal, and underneath it you can see that Mitsubishi did put some sound deadening material, but I was getting really bad rattles in this back corner here and at the front, I believe, as well. So I ended up removing this previously. Didn't do it on camera or anything, but I put a bunch of double-sided tape, basically just with the tape, like the glue on one side, and left it padded on the other side just so this wasn't glued down or anything. The glue is into the car, and so I've got a bunch of strips of double-sided tape all the way along this section here, and in the corners, just anywhere I felt like when I tapped it I could sort of hear it on metal. And that actually did basically eliminate the rattling I was getting. It was on cold nights. I have a pretty loud exhaust, and it was a single exit, and I just feel like it was rattling. So yeah, I don't know if that was what caused it, but definitely that did fix the problem. So yeah, I figured introduce the video, and then I'll cut to how you actually remove this, which to do you have to remove your rear seats. So if you're looking to just remove your rear seats for whatever reason, then this video should be helpful. And then obviously if you want to get some sound deadening material on this, then obviously this is going to be a helpful video. And then for anyone who wants to actually do the suede flocking like I'll be doing, then the rest of the video will be that. But I just figured it would be a helpful video for any of those reasons. So yeah, with that said, what I'll do now is I'll cut to the steps on how to remove your rear seat and parcel shelf. Okay, so to get your parcel shelf out, you're going to need to remove your back seats first. So it's pretty easy to do. First thing you need to do is remove the base part. So all it is just 2 clips. So around about here you have a clip that's going down into the floor of the car. So if you kind of just grab and just pull it up, that's it. Do that on both sides. So you can do it while standing in the car if you find it easier. I just know where the clip is. It's roughly right here, so I know that if I stand just outside the car and pull up, I can get it. So go around to the other side of the car and do the same thing. Okay, then the other side, so we'll step into the car even, make it easier, and then there we go. So then you can grab underneath and pull the seat up and slide it back. So you can see you've got that little hook there. So once you've unclipped and you pull it up like this, you can sort of just lean it and then that's it. You can then just grab it. It's really light, and just pull it out of the car. As you can see, it's just foam. There's nothing to it, but just so I don't scratch my car trying to pull it out with one hand while holding the camera, I'm just going to put the camera down and pull this out of the way. and then we'll get on to the more difficult part, but still pretty easy, which is getting the back part of the seat out, which just involves removing a few bolts. So get this out of the way and we'll jump in and we'll do that. Alright, so now we have the base part of the seat out. To get this back part, I'm gonna have 3 bolts to start with. So we got one over here, one in the middle there, and one in the other corner. So you need a 15mm, and you can just use a socket if you like. Right, makes it nice and easy. So you can see now that corner is loose. Get this middle one. And then the other side one. So we'll grab these 3 bolts. We'll put those aside. So now it's loose. It's just going to have some sort of clips somewhere up the top, I believe, from memory, and the seat belt's kind of in the way. So awkward to do with the camera. You basically need to grab it underneath and push up. So there's a clip, I believe, up here somewhere and on the other side. So again, grab it and use your sort of body weight to push up. So we'll have to remove our interior pillars first. So did forget about doing that step, so I'll grab those out. If you haven't removed those before, they just clip out. So push this back down. Normally you'd have a clip here, this little thing will be through there. I haven't put mine back in. If it is there, you just have to grab some pliers and twist it, push it down, then they will pop straight out. So those are out. I'll put those out of the way. Then we can again lift the seat. So that now should come out. You're going to have to kind of feed your seat belts out of the way. So either way you want to pull it out of the car, you have to sort of pull your seat belt out of the way, start pulling it this way, get this one. So obviously I can't do this while holding the camera, but that's basically all you'll need to do. So I'm going to get these suede ones out of the way so I don't damage them, and then I'll put the camera down and I'll try and get this seat out. So that'll be our next step. So with the seat fully out of the way, next up we can actually get to our parcel shelf. So you can see we've got some of these little clips here. So it's easiest if you have a trim removal tool, whoops, like this, that you can kind of, if I can get a bit closer. So this is probably the wrong one. I do have a smaller one. You basically can use a flathead or whatever, but if you get down into that little section, pop it up, and the whole thing will pull out. And we'll try not to lose that under the battery. So we'll sit these into that little pocket. So again, slide under and pop it out. As you can see, once you lift the little part, it opens these little prongs so you can pull the whole thing out. You can see the seat belts where they sit. You have this slit that you can feed those underneath, so you can lift it out from the seat belt. Obviously awkward with one hand, but like that. Then you can pop it up. So we'll get the other seat belt out of the way. I haven't done this in a while. When I did it was to just get rid of the rattles. So you can probably see I've got some double-sided tape in certain areas where it was, I felt like it was rattling. I didn't actually fully remove it though, I just kind of lifted it a little bit out. go, that's pretty loose. And out it comes. So mine probably came easier as I've had it out before, but it does clip down in the back. You can see Mitsubishi's attempt at stopping it from rattling. Just one little piece of foam there, it looks like. And a little bit of carpeting. So here, here's the clips that we've just popped out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it's really awkward standing on the back of the car. So that is now out. Better look at those clips. They're just these white interior trim clips that you find sort of everywhere. They're what hold the back pillars in as well. So yeah, another way is to go into the boot, I've heard, and pop it from there. I find you didn't need to. Mine came out a lot easier. I will let you know that. The first time I loosened it, I sort of got underneath and I really pushed up with my palm all the way along where those clips are. So for the purpose of the video, mine came out a bit too easy because I've had it out before, but yeah, the first time it was a lot harder than that. So that is it out. That is, if all you wanted to know is how to remove your rear seat and parcel shelf, then there you go. If all you want to do is just get rid of rattles that you have with this piece, then pull it out and you can see all the red is double-sided tape that I put to try and eliminate the rattling I was getting, which did work. So if that's what you want to do, there you go. Probably a helpful video for you. But now we're going to clean this up. We're going to try and put some suede over the top. Alright, so with that all removed, everything ready, what I'm going to do is obviously give this a clean first. So it's going to spray some degreaser. This one is CarPro Multi-X. It is diluted 1 to 10. It's pretty much what I use every time because it's so cheap to buy and you just dilute it yourself. So yeah, I'm going to get this nice and covered. Going to wipe this in, give it a clean down, and then we'll wipe it down with some CarPro eraser, which is like a isopropyl alcohol prepping spray. Let it completely dry, and then we'll move on to actually coating it. So yeah, let's get it nice and clean first. Alright, so I'm all set up. What I've done is I've just put a drop sheet down because I'm a little bit worried. This is quite a big area to be covered, and unfortunately I only have this one bag left. Hoping it's enough, but it should fill this twice. So you only half fill this, the mini flocker, you only sort of put about half a bag in, I think, at a time from memory. Or half fill it, which was about half a bag. I have a full bottle of the glue, so I have plenty of glue. I'm just worried this is enough, so I'll put the drop sheet down as when I spray over them, if I'm quick, any excess that I get, if it goes on the ground, obviously it's going to be contaminated. If it goes onto this drop sheet, which I've just put down, hopefully I can just quickly scoop it up, put some back into here and then spray. But if I'm lucky I don't have to do that, and then, you know, best scenario, I have enough, and then what goes all over this drop sheet is easier for me to clean up because the stuff kind of goes absolutely everywhere. And I learned from my lesson last time, more glue is a better thing. Absolutely smother the glue, including all corners. So I'm just going to go crazy on the glue and then immediately start flocking. So first thing I'll do is get this set up, so pour half into there. So that is ready to go, and I'm going to probably just pour some glue straight onto this piece rather than even using this little plastic tray. Just pour it straight on and just start working it in. Use the roller just to get some coverage, but I really need to smear it with the brush. I learned from my last attempt on the pillars, and yeah, here's hoping it goes well. So I'm going to get it all set up now and get started. Here's hoping it's enough. Alright guys, so yeah, unfortunately it seems, I kind of knew it was going to happen, but I didn't have enough fibres left. So as soon as I started, I quickly realised that it was not going to be enough. I did my best to, like I said, scoop up and reuse what I could. But yeah, there's heaps of spots that are obviously don't have coverage. Kind of pretty bad job at it. I mean, the glue part I was definitely right about. If I just had more fibres, I would have been, this part would have been perfect, I think. But I don't know, it is what it is. Being that we're in lockdown here in Brisbane where I live at the moment, it's meant to be just for 3 days, but this is the start of it. Who knows if we'll be locked down for much longer yet. I just had this one bag left, had the pot of glue left, and just felt like doing something to the car because yeah, I want to keep my upload schedule going, and the videos I had planned to film this weekend are obviously cancelled, being that we are locked in at our house, not really able to leave. So yeah, took a gamble, tried to do it. Okay, so it's the next day, and this has been sort of letting the glue dry overnight. I'm now going to move it over to the other side of the garage so I can use the leaf blower, blow off all this excess. Obviously don't want to blow it this way straight into the Evo, so I'm going to move it, and it didn't turn out as bad as I thought it did. Obviously I didn't have enough fibres. If I had another bag, I could have got this absolutely perfect because now I know what I'm doing with this. But yeah, it didn't come out that bad. Obviously a couple of spots that are missing, but I feel like once it's in the car it should be okay. So I don't think I'm going to redo this one. I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to buy another couple of bags of the fibres and some more glue because I do want to do some more pieces, but I did plan on redoing this one at that time. I think I'm just going to leave it. But anyway, let's move it to the other side of the garage and get the leaf blower on and see how it looks once all this excess is removed. Alright, so here it is, all blown off, so this is how it is going to look. Yeah, not perfect like I said, but being the very back of the car, it's not something you often look at. It's just, you can see that it's suede. It should flow pretty well with the pillars, so I think I'm going to, yeah, leave it. Obviously I could have, like I said, done better if I did have the extra, but I think with the one bag that I had, getting it to this is pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to bring the car back into the garage and put this all back together, and I'll show you how it looks once everything is in and we have the full suede in the car. Alright, so there we are, fully done. Put it back together. Obviously the back seats are back in. I didn't refilm how to install the back seats, but it's the same thing. It's just really hard. I just did it by myself. So much easier if you do it with one other person, just to help you feed the seat belts through, because you're trying to open the door up and feed this seat base part in. You obviously have to get the seat belts around. So yeah, that's all done. Seat base is back in, which is the easy part. But yeah, so we've got the pillar back in. Hopefully it's all clipped down properly. I didn't want to like press too hard because it's actually only been just over 24 hours since I did it. Should really leave it for a few days, but I just wanted to get my car back together. But yeah, it actually looks really good. Flows so much better now, being that the pillars, sorry, and then the parcel shelf. I think I said pillars when I meant parcel shelf, but yeah, it really flows between those three now. So I'm really happy with that. And then, yeah, obviously we have the front ones already done. So I feel like the interior is starting to already look a bit better with just a few parts done. So also we have our leather armrest done. Yeah, so coming along really nicely. All I've done so far is I had the car sitting outside the garage to put the seats back in. All I did was drive it forward a few meters, but I sort of glanced in my rear view mirror and can actually see this suede both in the pillars and the parcel shelf, and it does look really good. You can notice it. Need to now clean my back window, but yeah, that's pretty good result. I'm really happy with it, and haven't spent any more money to do this because it's leftovers from doing my pillars. So if you guys watched the first video, which was doing the pillars, and you have leftover, then you can now do this as well for no extra cost. But yeah, if you haven't already done the flocking on the pillars and you want to do this one, I'll have a link in the description to the suede flocking kit that I used. Well worth buying. And yeah, so that's going to be it for part 3. Hopefully it is part 3. I did film putting the this leather armrest on, and then I meant to do the SST surround, but obviously had a bit of a fail there, realised that I needed another piece. So being that we're locked down at the moment in Brisbane, I just need to film as much as I can because I can't get out and film any driving videos or feature videos on cars. So if I did put part 2, that was part 2. If I didn't upload it because I wasn't happy with it, then it's not going to make much sense. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the series so far. Plenty more interior parts to come. Got to order a few more parts. And yeah, it's going to be it for today's video. So if you enjoyed, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below. If you have any comments or questions, definitely put those down below in the comment section. I'll answer those as I can. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see what's happening next in my interior or to my Evo 10. But that's going to be it for today's video. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.